Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam. Today I'll be doing another episode of Sam Talks, the weekly series where I talk about whatever I want to talk about, or whatever you leave in the comments below. So if you leave a comment in the description or in the comment section below, giving me a topic, I might just pick it, and you might just have a topic on this series. So here we go. Today I'm going to be talking about E3 since that's what's going on right now, and that's what's going on in my life. That's been what I've been watching, and if you don't know what E3 is, it's the electronics. What is it? E3. Here, let me look it up real quick. E3. What does it stand for? What does E3 stand for? It stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo, which happens every year, and this year it's been really great. I'm usually not really into it, but this year I've been watching the conferences, and it's really great. I've been really into it. I think I'd just kind of go over the games that I'm excited for, just really have a laid-back conversation with you guys about it. That sounds like fun. Alright, now before I start the video, if you want to leave a comment, and if you've seen E3, and if you want to leave a comment about what you think of it this year, just leave it in the comments below. But this year I think it's great, because last year was kind of about the consoles and stuff like that, and I wasn't really into it, because I wasn't going to get a new console, I wasn't going to get one of the new next-gen consoles, because, I don't know, I was getting a PC, so that's how I was going to do. So, I wasn't really into it. It was just a lot of talking about these new machines I didn't really care about. This year, they're really talking about the games. It's the games. They're trying to sell the consoles to us by making us want to buy games, which is great. Alright, so the first opening conference was the Xbox conference, and it was kind of weird for them to start, because last year they had such a bad start that you'd think that they would want to go last so that nobody could really, not argue against them, but really, pound them, because that's what PS4 did. They were like, oh, we don't have a Kinect built in, because they knew that Xbox had shown off the Kinect. But Xbox went first, which I found interesting. Xbox had a really weird conference. They opened up with Call of Duty, which was, I don't know, it was a weird choice. I don't really know why they would open up with Call of Duty. I guess it's a really big part of their culture, the Xbox Live community and their whole Call of Duty fad and stuff like that. But they opened up with Call of Duty, which I found weird, but then they went on and they talked about the new Halo Master Chief Edition, which is not really a new Halo game. It's Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on one disc, coming out on Xbox One, completely remastered and stuff. It looks insane. It looks really cool, and I'm really pumped for that, because if they bring Halo back, and it's all the multiplayers too, so you can play Halo 1 multiplayer like back in the day, Halo 3 multiplayer, you can play Halo 2 multiplayer, you can go back and play Halo 4 if you want to play that again, all for $60. I think that's a pretty good deal, and because Halo 3 is a masterpiece, Halo 2 is a masterpiece, Halo 1 is a masterpiece, Halo 4 is but together it makes a great bundle. I was really excited about that. That made me want to get an Xbox One just for that. They showed Halo 5 Guardians. It was another teaser. It didn't really show much gameplay. It was okay, I guess. They showed a few other interesting games, some indie games. Overall, it was kind of not a boring conference, but it wasn't the best. I'll get to the best later, but really, I found it it was a bit slow. They did talk about a lot of games, though. They talked about Forza. They talked about, let me think here. What's one more game they talked about? They didn't really talk about sports games, which I found interesting. I've got a criticism about that on EA, but, yeah, overall, I mean, they had a pretty solid conference, a little bit boring, but solid. I mean, they talked about indie games, which is great. I thought that was great. They brought up indie games, and I think it was overall a pretty solid conference. Next, EA. EA, I think, had the worst conference of these 5 that I'm going to talk about here. EA didn't really do very well. They talked about sports games for half the time, which, I mean, to people going to E3, they don't really care about the sports games, I find, because they're the same thing every year, right? Let's face it. Sports games are always the same thing. Sure, they'll have one or two more features, or if you want to call them features, like, hey, it's a different laddering mode, or hey, it's a different tournament mode. But overall, they're the exact same game as last year. So to talk about sports games for half the time, I found was a little bit much. They brought a few other games. I was really excited to see the new Battlefront game, Star Wars Battlefront. If you guys haven't played that, go play that. It's great. It's on Steam, the old one. But the thing about that was that they brought it up. The first thing they showed was Battlefront. It was like, yeah, they're opening up with their big killer game. And it comes up, right? And I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. It shows people in a development house, developing the game. It shows them, moving around like stormtroopers and stuff. And then it's like, we'll see you next E3, lol, 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 walks out. And I'm just sitting there like, man, you come up here saying Battlefront. Look at this new Battlefront game we just made. Don't show us any gameplay. They didn't show us anything. They didn't even show us a little rendered cutscene or anything. They didn't show us anything. They're like, we'll see you at next E3. That's what they opened up with. It was like, oh man, this is going to be a long conference. Next, they showed us Battlefield. In the new Battlefield game, I mean, there's the Cops and Robbers mode, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to admit, it's a pretty cool mode. But is it gonna make me get into Battlefield? Probably not. It's honestly, in Battlefield, I haven't gotten into it. I might get into it with this one because of the Cops and Robbers mode. Probably not though. Sports games, they had a lot of sports games, as I already mentioned, and they also showed The Sims 4, which, I mean, it's relevant. It's a cool game, looks nice. But really, is that gonna carry the conference? No. I found EA kind of boring. You guys could have tried a bit harder. Ubisoft. As I told my friends, this conference right here transformed me from somebody that didn't really care for Ubisoft into a Ubisoft fanboy in one night. It was insane. Ubisoft killed it at E3. They were the best conference by far. Let me go through why. One, their host was great. It was this woman. She was really into it. She was really great. She had some great lines, some great improv stuff. She was great. She was excellent. She made the whole thing tie together. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really funny. Two, the games they showed were great. They showed The Division, and they didn't show very many games. They just showed some games they knew would get people interested. The new Assassin's Creed, which looks good for an Assassin's Creed game, looks interesting. The Crew, which is an open-world racing game set throughout the entire U.S., which I think looks really good. The Division, which is going to be a DayZ-style game, which looks awesome, looks amazing. That game, I'm so hyped for that game. Far Cry 4, which, again, that game looks amazing. Like, Far Cry 3 was great. Far Cry 4 is in the Himalayas. You're with the purple pants guy. Looks great. And then, at the end, they showed off Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six The Siege, which is an excellent looking game. It's very hard to explain. It's 5v5 combat where you're trying to secure hostages. It was a really early trailer, so there was kind of alpha footage. It still looked really nice, gorgeous looking game. And where you have to secure hostages against terrorists, and the terrorists have to secure the hostages. What I found really cool was that you could blow down any wall in the house. The house was like completely destructible, so they were blowing down walls. They put charges on the walls, and they would just blow down the wall. It was great, and they blew a hole through the floor. It was excellent. It looked really fun. But yeah, Ubisoft, man, they killed it, and they made me really, really excited for all their games. All the games they showed there were interesting. They had this fitness game. I'm probably never going to get it, but it looked fun. Like, it looked like a cool experience. It was like they had a push-up contest. They had stuff like that. Go watch the conference. It was really cool. Next, we have Sony. Sony did a good job as well, I'd like to say. Well, halfway through, they kind of started talking about numbers, and it was like, okay, let's just get back to the games. I think they ran out of games to show. They didn't show any new Kingdom Hearts. They didn't show any Last Guardian, which made a lot of people disappointed, but oh well. I mean, they're still in development. You have to accept that. Some other stuff they showed. Let's see. What did they show at the Sony conference? They showed Far Cry 4. They showed some gameplay of Far Cry 4. They announced Far Cry 4. This is a big announcement. If your friend has Far Cry 4 and you don't, you can be invited to play the game with him, even if you don't own it, which is awesome. That's a great feature. Far Cry, that's amazing from Ubisoft. Thanks, Ubisoft. Some other things. They showed off. Let me think here. They showed off a whole lot of new remakes. They're making a lot of their old games, like Grim Fandango and stuff like that. They're completely remastering them, which is great. They showed a lot of stuff. It's very hard for me to remember all this stuff at this time. This is the Sony conference was the one I watched today too, which is kind of embarrassing that I don't remember it. Oh yeah, the EA one, they also showed Dragon Age and the new Mass Effect, which I don't really care about, but whatever, a lot of people do. Let me think here. What else did they show at the Sony conference? Sony, they showed Little Big Planet 3. That's what they showed at Sony. That was a big one. Little Big Planet 3. And Little Big Planet 3 looks good. It looks fun. Will it make me buy a PS4? Probably not, because it's Little Big Planet, but it looked fun, and people were really hyped. What else? I think Sony had the least content in their actual performance, because I don't remember a lot of the games that they were showing off. But yeah, still they had a good show. I was entertained while watching it. And finally, Nintendo. Nintendo I actually didn't watch. I just saw the highlights of it. But basically what they showed off was a new Zelda game, a new Star Fox game. They showed Smash Bros. They had a packed roster. I wanted a new IP from Nintendo. I wanted something new. Here's a new game, they should have said. Here it is. It's a new character, completely new idea, like something to blow people's minds. But they didn't have that. They had remade formulas. They said the Zelda. They released the new Star Fox, which I mean is awesome. I love Star Fox. But they had all these things. People have a reason to buy a Wii U now, which is great. They didn't do a bad performance. They did a great performance from what I heard. They introduced a new Skylanders type thing. I don't know what that's all about, but it's probably stupid. But anyways, Nintendo, I think, did an okay job. Is it going to sell more Wii U's? Probably. Is it going to save the Wii U? Maybe. I don't know. They've got to sell a lot. But what I'm trying to say here is E3's been great this year. It's been very exciting. Exciting time for all the gamers around the world watching this whole event go through. I want you guys to leave in the comments below what you think of this event. What do you think about E3? That's what's going on right now. What do you think of the games? What are you excited for? What are you not so excited for? Are you going to be getting a next-gen console? Let me know. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Let's aim for 3 likes on this video. This has been some Hawken gameplay. If you have watched this far, leave a comment below that says my favorite thing at E3 is, and then you can finish it off. Just finish off the comment with what your favorite thing at E3 was this year. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys next time.